All right. Can everyone see and hear me just fine? Yes, thumbs up. Cool, thank you. No feedback or anything? Perfect. We get started in just a few minutes. I want to give everybody just time to log in. For those of you that are on, let's see, I got Ann, Becky, Nate, Monish. Is that James? Anybody have anything that they specifically want to work on today or have questions on that they want to go over? No, nothing specific? Nothing specific?
The stuff you've been doing on the kicks is awesome.
Okay, yeah, we can do more kicks today. All right. So I do have my daughter in the other room, so if you hear her fussing a little bit, that's what's going on. And she's just eating some lunch, so if you hear baby in the background, that's just Georgie. Let's see, anybody else joined? No, looks like this might be it. Okay, cool. So we'll get started. Just do a little quick warm up before we get anything. So jumping jacks. Forward back. Arm circles forward. And back. Across. Legs apart wide, stretching forwards. Try to keep the back straight so you're not curling, but leaning forwards and up. Pushing the hips forward, stretching the front of the hips. Back down again. And walk over towards your left or your right. Walk over towards the other direction. And then come on up and over. And switch. Circle the body around. And switch. Good, and feet together. Stretching forwards, stretching out the back of the hamstrings. And up. Pushing the hips forwards. And down. Good, and front stance. Try to get that back foot pointed as much forward as possible so you can stretch that hip. Come up into lizard. And half hurdle. Good, front stance the other direction. Same thing, try to get that back foot pointed straight in front. That way you can stretch that front hip. If you can, try to turn those hips also forwards. Gives you a nice stretch. And come down into lizard. And half hurdle. Good. And we'll just warm up the shoulders just like we've been doing with the punches and the blocks. So good. And left hand out from Yoidachi. Just starting with Shokuzuki. Just nice and easy, right? No hime, no speed. Just loosening up the shoulders and the arms. Ready? Ich, ni, some, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Agyuki, rising block. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Sotouki. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Uchiuki. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Inambarai. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Shutouge. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. And feet together and hands up. Just kicking gate on to start, just to get the legs loosened. Try to come up this way and then out instead of this way and out, right? Just to get the right motion this way. Ready? Alternating legs. Ready? Ich, ni, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. To the side, yoko. Ready? Ich, switch, ni, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. Mawashi in front, just we'll come into the L stance and you just come this way. We'll do 5 on each side. Ready? Ich, ni, sun, shi, go. Switch sides. Ich, ni, sun, shi, go. And to the rear, Ushiro, this way. Ready? Ich, switch legs. Ni, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, hach, ku, ju. And you may announce it. Okay, check it all out. Audio is still good, everyone? No feedback, no glitching of the screen or anything? Okay, good. We've had some issues, so I just want to make sure everything's good with some of the other classes.
My internet keeps cutting out, but I think that's just my internet because my internet's been really bad today.
Okay. If any feedback or anything comes up, please speak up right away so we can try and get it fixed. Just want to make sure, because like I said, we've had some issues with other classes, so let me know if it has any problems. Okay, so we'll just start off with some punching kihon, and then we'll go into the kicks. So it sounds like what people kind of want to work on. We'll do some various kinds of kicks, some for the brown belt, some for the black belt, just to give you some variation. So last week we did Kizamazuki, Uraken. So this week we'll do Hyakuzuki, step forward, Oizuki. So we'll do the other two there. Hopefully you guys all remember. So for Kizamazuki, we talked about having the arm in kind of a natural position. You can come here. Some of the senseis have been teaching this way, and that's good to keep the arm moving in the right way, but it does put undue tension all up on the shoulder and the arm, so you can be more relaxed here. Just make sure that it doesn't come out as it's punching. It needs to follow the natural trajectory of your arm out, back this way. All right, so keep working on that. And remember for Uraken, Uraken means back of the fist. Ken means fist area, right? Seiken's the front. That's where we punch normally. Uraken's the back, right? So we talked about here, back fist hitting this way with the back of the fist. For those of you that are a little bit more advanced, talked about slight movement this way as it comes out, boom, as you hit this way, right? Oops. Just like with the foot, it extends this way as you kick. Same thing, right? Extends out as you punch. So we'll do Yakuzuki today, coming out this way. Sensei Sean in his classes has been talking about, I want to make sure my feet are in there, keeping the back foot down as you're punching this way. This is good for your basic advanced, right? Getting the right tension and pushing so you can get the right kime. In my classes, I've been wanting to focus a little bit more on bringing that up so you get a little bit more extension, get that feeling of what it's like to explode forward. So it's okay to come up on the ball of your foot today as we're practicing. We're gonna do Yakuzuki, so we're gonna be hips 45 now. Remember, Kizamizuki, we were square. Yakuzuki, we're gonna be 45. So you're gonna step forward. And instead of, so what I wanna focus on is not stepping the front leg, right? So everyone try this. This is what most people do. They try to step here, right? So get that feeling of just stepping here, right? So this is the incorrect way to do it, right? You don't wanna just step. You wanna be more dynamic. And the way that we do that, and turn sideways so you can see. So I'm up on the balls of my feet here. I'm not flat-footed. And I have my back leg bent like a spring. And what's gonna happen is I'm ready to push off of this back leg, right? It's nice and tight here, I'm ready. So instead of stepping, if I were to just lift this front foot up, it comes out because I'm pushing off my back leg. So try this. Try to put some nice tension here like it's a spring. And now you're gonna just, like you're pushing off the balls of your feet, your back foot, just gonna drive forwards and then step back. Drive forwards, step back. Drive forwards, step back. This is the feeling you want, right? So you're driving off that back foot. Switch legs, try the other side. Up on the ball of your foot. So remember, the front foot's not doing anything. It's literally just coming off the ground and it's moving because your back leg is driving out. So coming forward, just stepping forward, just driving out that back leg, ready to drive. Ish. Come back. Knee. Come back. Sump. Come back. Sheep. Come back. Good. Switch sides. So this is the feeling you want, right? So you're gonna be driving forwards. That's why I'm always saying you want to come up this way, right? It's like you're a track athlete, right? So you're here, you're in the blocks, you come up, and then you drive off of those legs. That's the feeling you want, right? So we're gonna be here. We're gonna do Yakuzuki. We're gonna break it down to see what we did before. So hips 45. You're gonna turn the hips in, and as the hips turn and you're driving up that back leg, the arm's gonna come out. So what we don't wanna do is punch and let the punch drive, right? Try to get the hips moving first. So you're gonna drive, throw the hip, let the hip throw the hand. So try this, getting the hips warm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're gonna let the hips go and throw the punch out. Ready? Just going slow, let the hips move and then the hand, ready? Each. Come back. Knee. Come back. Sump. Come back. Sheep. Come back. Last one. Go. Come back. Switch legs. Other side. So I'm really trying to get you guys to focus on leg drive, hip drive, then the arm drive, right? So you're not just powering the punch with the hand. It's coming from the whole body, up from the leg, up from the hip, and then out through the fist. So come on the other side. And just get the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're gonna step, punch, ready, each. Come back. Knee. Come back. Sump. Come back. Sheep. Come back. Go. Come back. Good. Switch legs. All right. Give yourself a little bit more space. And you're gonna punch, second count, come up, right? So as you punch, hips are square. As you come up, the hips are going to come back as the leg retracts up, right? So the hips moving in, out, in, open, closed, open, right? Opposite of what we were doing before. We go open, closed. Now we're going closed, open. So that way you're ready for the next technique. So Kamae stance, left leg forward. You're gonna punch, hold it out, and then the second count, retract, open the hips. Ready? Ish, boom, retract, open the hips. Me. Good. Slide back, punch, stump, sheep, slide back, go, rook, slide back, sitch, hutch, slide back, coup, jew, slide back. Switch the legs, try the other side. Same thing, right? Hips, close when you punch, open when you step up. Try not to, I'm gonna come closer as you can see, try not to do this. Punch, so now I'm closed, and as I retract, come this way. See how my hips are now pointing 90 degrees, right? Don't over open, right? So it's closed, ready, right? They're 45, they're ready to attack, they're not open and now misaligned, right? So be careful here. You see this a lot with all these techniques. Hips become too loose and now you're pointing the wrong directions. So coming forward is ready, itch, retract knee, slide back, stump, sheep, slide back, go, rook, slide back, sitch, hutch, slide back, coup, chew, slide back, you may. And now say, good. Take a breather for a second. Questions on that? Nope, good.
Sensei, I have a question.
Yes.
On the alignment of the foot with the knee, you know, I find if I want to get my foot forward, it's easy to do that when my hips are forward. When my hips are 45, it's harder to get that feeling that my foot is not out of line with my hip. Does that make sense?
Let me see if I got it. So you're talking about your front foot, right?
Back foot.
Back foot. Okay, so my back foot, let me come a little bit closer. So you're saying when you punch, your back foot's in line. Is this correct, Ian? And then when you come up, it comes out of alignment. Oops. Is it this way?
It's harder to keep my foot 45 degrees or less when my hips are in a 45-degree angle.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So, couple of things for that. I'll come a little bit closer, hopefully you can see. So, maybe if I turn, does this help? Go firm. Okay, so that way you can see my foot. All right, so, one thing, Sensei Sean's been talking about ankle flexibility, right? So you want to make sure you work on the ankle flexibility. The way to do that, let me pull my hands up so you can see. Doing this, squatting down, right? I'm pushing my knees forward. So be careful here. You can put some tension on your knees. So you want to be careful you're stretching the ankles, right? Grabbing here, pulling the ankle up, stretching it, right? So that helps. The other thing that helps is I'm not flat-footed, right? I'm up here. So now it's easier to kind of turn this foot, if I'm up on the ball of my foot, than it is if it's flat, right? Slightly easier. You got a little bit more mobility. Second thing is where your knee is relative to your foot, right? So if your knee is out, it's hard to kind of see here, and my foot is trying to come in, it's hard to do, right? So make sure that your knee tracks with the front of your toe. So I've got my hip turned, my back hip, let's see if I can turn this way. So my hips are 45. It's not that my whole body and my hips, if they're in line with my feet, are not 45. Does that make sense? see if I can turn 45. They're not this way. So my front hip is sort of turned this way. My back hip is hard to show on the camera, is kind of turned in. So it's pointed straight this way. Does that make sense? So I've got kind of my hips like this, right? So I've got my back hip, it's kind of not so much straight, but just slightly more turned in. That way it's not out of alignment with my foot, right? So you want your hip, knee, foot in alignment, right? Does that make sense? So let's try that, Anna. You want to try that real quick and let me know, does that help? And I'll try to get that back hip a little bit more in alignment with that foot. Right. So it should feel a little bit better. Right, so you want to make sure that your hips match kind of the alignment of your legs, right? And I'm going to be 45. My front foot, if I slide back, remember my front foot is never straight. It's not the inside, it's the outside edge. And your foot is shaped like this, right? So to be forwards, your front foot has to be pigeon-toed, right? Which means my leg now tracks not out, but over this way. So my front foot's kind of pointed that direction. My back foot, I can't get it all the way in. I'm not that flexible. So my back foot's kind of 45. So they're sort of almost in line, my feet, right? That helps kind of get the hips in the right motion. So that when you step, and then when you step, I'm really driving forwards, and that pushing forwards motion, you'll see kind of puts my foot, you push me this way, pull up my leg, my pant leg. As I push, my foot turns in. I need to pull up a little more. You see that as it's pushing, it's turning in this way, right? Be careful here when you do this that you don't do, hopefully you can see it, and pull up a little bit more, that you don't do this. See how I've overturned the inside of my knee and my heel, right? This will hurt your leg. You want it in line, not overturned this way, right? Does that help? I hope that kind of answered your question.
Yes, Sensei, thank you very much.
Okay, great. Yeah, be very careful, right? And if you guys feel any tension or pain when you're doing something, ask for clarification, right? Because there's kind of the old way of doing it, and then Shihan's been kind of teaching us the newer way, which preserves your joints and your ligaments, right? You want to make sure that you have long-term health of your body. So if something starts to hurt, doesn't feel good, ask about it, because there's probably something that you're doing maybe the old way or incorrectly that we've fixed to hopefully make it better on the body. Cool, okay. So coming back, let's do Oizuki. So Sensei Sean was talking about on his class on Monday, this feeling of squeezing the leg so you can step up this way, right? And then step forwards, right? So it's kind of something that you want, right? Oizuki feels like a slow technique because you're kind of like, boom, right? So we want to make it quick. And the way that you do that is from your Kamae stance, and this is the same from your Zenkutsudashi, right? So it's outward tension, but you're squeezing on your inner thigh muscles together. And as you squeeze those inner thigh muscles together, that pulls the leg in quick, and now you can push out quickly, right? That's how you make this move quick. If you just try to step, it's going to be slow. You've got to squeeze together and then drive outwards. That's the only way to make it fast, right? So from the Kamae stance, you're going to try to drive forward is the feeling, right? So from Zenkutsudashi, you're squeezing in, pushing. From from your kamae stance, it's the same feeling, just slightly different as what I'm thinking of more as this pulling on my front leg. Like I'm in my starting blocks from track, right? I'm pulling this front leg and pushing forward. Same thing, right? Squeezing, pulling forward over this front leg, boom, this way to drive forward. So we'll go slow to start and then we'll speed it up. So we're here from your kamae. You're gonna pull forwards and step. Make sure you squeeze the legs together so you don't waddle down the floor. So going slow, ready? Squeeze, pull forwards, punch, and then slide back. Squeeze to pull forwards, punch, slide back. Squeeze to pull forwards, punch, slide back. Squeeze to pull forwards, punch, slide back. All right. Let's try to pick up the speed a little bit, make it a little bit more fluid. We're gonna punch chudan for now. Ready? Itch, boom, slide back. Nate, slide back. Some, slide back. Sheep, slide back. Last one, go. Slide back. Anime. And now say. All right, couple of things to point out before I ask for questions. Basics comes in kusadachi. Stepping forward, this is the same for your kata. Oizuki. Hips square, shoulders square. From kamae stance for kihon, we're looking for that distance, and because you're sparring with someone, you gotta catch them. As you step, you can be open on the hips, open on the shoulders. This gives you a little bit more reach on your technique, right? So you can be open here. It doesn't have to be square and square. It's a little bit more open, right? Questions on oizuki? No? Okay. Let's move to kicks. So take a breather for a second. Becky, you wanted to work on kicks. Anything specifically on kicks for anybody? Stationary kicks? Okay, we'll do those. We'll do some double kicks to start just to get you guys warmed up for that feeling. I know for me, if you've got a bad kick that's hard for you, now's the time to practice at home, slow motion. Everybody's got one that's hard. For me, personally, side snap kick is really hard. I actually really struggle with that one. So I'm working on it slowly, but we'll do a few of the double kicks just to get the feeling. We'll do the snap ones, and I'll do variations of them so we can get the feeling of what it's like to move through the stationary kicks. So from the kamae stance, what we'll do first is we'll do front snap, and then we're gonna rotate, side snap, step down, right? So this is to get you the feeling of that first move, front snap, side snap, right? So we're gonna do front snap, pivot, side snap, step down, right? So once again, just like we talked about last week, so that front foot is not gonna move on the front snap kick. And then as you pivot for the side snap kick, make sure if your hips are tight at all, mine are, if you pivot open more with that supporting leg, right? That will help with the side snap kick, boom, so you can step down. Oops. So make sure you pivot open if you have tight hips. So going slow to start, we'll do front snap, side snap, step down, just to get the feeling ready. Front snap, itch, side snap, knee, step down, front snap, itch, side snap, knee, step down, good, slide back. One more time, ready, front snap, itch, side snap, knee, slide down, front snap, itch, side snap, knee, step down. Good. And then one more time, slide back. I want to watch you guys on the video. Oh, that doesn't work. Just to see. So one more time, I'll count. You guys do it one more time. I just want to see your kicks. Ready? Front snap, itch. Side snap, knee. And then one more time, front snap, itch. Side snap, knee. Good. And slide back. Okay. So a couple of things. Front snap kick is good. Boom, which I would expect. We do that one the whole time. Side snap kick. Make sure it snaps back all the way, right? Boom, with a good snap. Second one is watch the trajectory of the kick. So turn sideways so you can see. So it's winding up here. Make sure it doesn't come this way. You see how my leg is turning this way, right? That becomes roundhouse kick, right? So we want to do that. It comes up, boom, this way, right? Up, boom, this way. The heel is tracking in one line, right? So make sure it's more heel this way. So as it comes up, see how my heel is in line with my butt? Now I can come straight out and straight back, right? Boom, this way. All right, okay, one more time. Did you have a question, somebody? Becky?
So,
Becky?
yeah, when you land, do you step down and twist, or do you twist your hips as you step?
Yeah, okay, so there's two ways to do that.
How do you land properly?
Yeah, okay, so there's two ways to do it. I'll show you the easier way, and then there's the kind of fancy way, right? So if we've done front snap, I'm pivoting, side snap, so now I'm here, right? This is the easy way. So my hips are sideways, I'm gonna come down, and as I step, I'm turning, right? Boom, this way. So everybody do that. So you're here, kick, you're here. So remember, we're not hopping as we step. The leg's gonna come down. As it's coming down, I'm pivoting. Step, step. Now I'm ready, right? So one more time, try that with this leg. So we've kicked, it's gonna come down, you're pivoting, slide. Right? Try the other side. So you kicked, boom, as you're coming down, turn in, right? Kick, as you're coming down, turn in. One more time, kick. As you're coming down, turn in, right? So that's the normal way to do it. And so as you're stepping, your hips are coming back to normal. That's the kind of the right way to do it. The fancy way, and this applies kind of more to the Mwashigeri than this one, but as you kick, the hips pivot back. So let me try to get close so you can see that. It works better with the Mwashigeri, so I'll do it with the Mwashigeri. So the kick's gonna come out, and as it's coming back, I'm pivoting this way. Now I'm square, and I can step, right? So that's kind of the fancy way to do it. Requires a lot more balance. And the reason for that is when you're sparring with someone, remember we talked about kicks all come from here. Front snap, side snap, Mwashigeri, Uda Mwashigeri, right? Everything comes from here. So the same thing, right? So it comes up, I kick, boom, comes back to here. In case I need to do something else, right? So that's kind of the fancy way. It's very hard because you have to have a lot of balance and a lot of hip and glute strength. Can work on it. I wouldn't worry about that one right now. What I would try to just practice on is kick. And as you come down, drive forwards into that position. So the kick comes out, comes back. As it's coming down, I'm pivoting back into normal. Does that answer your question, Becky? Yep, cool, okay. Any other questions? All right, cool. So let's do front snap roundhouse. If you want to practice, let's see, I've got lots of brown belts on the call. It looks like is that JSMES on there? I think it's like a youth one-ish. Yeah, okay, so if you guys want to try this on this one, right? So you're gonna kick, front snap, boom, Mawashigeti. If you want to try coming back here before you step, try it on this one. It's a good time to practice that. So go slow, and the feeling is when you do the Mawashigeti, you're gonna pivot, kick. As the kick snaps back, the hips turn in, and then you step. So let's try that coming forwards. Front snap roundhouse. Ready? Itch. Front snap. Mawashigeti. Boom. Step. One more time. Front snap. Mawashigeti. Step. Good. Come back. The feeling should be similar to when we do front snap Oizuki, right? As the leg snapping back, you're doing something. Same feeling, right? As the leg snapping back, you're doing something, right? So one more time, really slow. Front snap, roundhouse, boom, snap in, slide forward. One more front snap, Mawashigeti, slide forward. Good. And then one more time. I just want to watch you guys. Ready? Front snap, itch. Mawashigeti ni. Good. And last one, front snap, itch. Mawashigeti ni. Good. Becky, Nate, that looks good. And I can't see your legs, so I'm assuming it looks good. That twisting motion, right? It looks good. Keep practicing it. Just go slow with it so you can get the feeling, right? Same thing if you go fast and you do it wrong because of that torquing motion, you can do some real damage to your hip. So practice slow so you can get the feeling before you go fast, okay? Any questions on that?
Oh, Sensei?
Yes.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of both ways of doing it? Like what are the advantages to coming back here and then stepping compared to
Okay.
stepping out?
Yeah. So advantages and disadvantages. If I'm doing Kihon for the exam or in class, right? Doing this requires a lot of strength and balance, right? So if we're doing Sensei Neil's class, you're going up and down the floor, 50 techniques, 7 times front and back, you're gonna get really tired, right? So for a Kihon perspective, it's much easier to kick and come down into Kamae this way because it requires less strength of the hip to torque back and forth, right? So from an efficiency motion and from using energy, it's a little bit easier to do that, right? Okay, disadvantage is if you're sparring with someone, right? And I kick, boom, and I come down, this time from when I kicked to coming down to turning, I'm vulnerable, right? I can get punched. I'm kind of sideways, right? Stuff's open. You gotta be quick to come down to not have that vulnerability, right? All right, so vice versa. If I'm sparring with someone, advantage, boom, kick here. Now I'm ready to block. I can also do a second kick if I'm here. And because I'm here, my opponent doesn't know what kick I'm gonna do, right? Disadvantage is, if you're doing Kihon, like I said, this requires a lot of strength and balance to do, uses up a lot more energy, right? So pros and cons, practice both, right? It's good to have both in your repertoire. it kind of depends on what you're wanting to work on, right? I'll do both in class if I want to get a real workout of my glutes and my hips. I will definitely do the twist one to get everything in motion, right? That way you also practice for your kumite. Does that answer your question, Nate? Cool. Okay, any other questions? No? Okay. What time is it? Okay. Last thing we'll do before the stationary kicks is we'll do Ushogari spinning back kick, but I want to do it the way that Shihan has been doing it in the Facebook Live ones. So instead of the turning and the kick, I want to just step backwards. So you're here, right? You just kick, step down, kick, step down. I really want you guys to get the feeling of the kick's trajectory without having to worry about the spin, right? So we'll start here, right? You're just gonna kick, step down, right? So this is more control of the body. You don't want to turn because we're used to that. We're not turning, right? You're just gonna kick, step down, kick, step down. Just getting the feel of the kick of how it should come out without worrying about the turn, because the turn sometimes adds unnecessary complexity and messes up the kick. Let's do this a couple more times. So we're here, get a kick, step down. Oops, yeah, I almost turned there. Kick, step down, kick, step down. One more time. Kick, step down, kick, step down. Last one, kick, step down. And you may. And now say. All right, so the important thing with that you should feel is the spin is not how the kick gets thrown out. It adds momentum and power, but the kick's not getting thrown from here, right? You're turning to give yourself power. The kick comes straight out and straight back, just as if you were standing here and kicking, right? So make sure you have that feeling that as soon as the kick throws, your spin has stopped, essentially. Don't let it turn open as you're spinning. Okay? All right, good. Last thing. Yoi, the left leg forward, hands up. Stationary kicks. We're gonna do front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back kick, step down. We're gonna do 3 sets, and then what you may do it by the count. Ready, pitch, front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back, step down. Knee, front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back. Last one, sump, front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back kick, step down. Switch legs, 3 sets. Try to grip the floor so you're not moving around. Ready, pitch, front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back kick. Whoa, that was bad. Nate, front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back kick, step down. Last one, sump, front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back kick, step down. You may. And now say. Good. So with the stationary kicks, like I mentioned, just practice at home. You don't have to kick, just front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back kick. Do that like 5 times. Switch legs, front snap, side snap, roundhouse, back kick. Just to get the feeling of the balance. The other thing is your double kicks with the same leg will help. So practice those. You can do the alternate combination like we were just doing, right? So front snap, side snap, step forward. And you can do side snap, roundhouse, step forward, right? So that way you can get the feeling. What it's like just to do is split up. Good. All right, and the last thing, we'll just stretch a tiny bit. Legs shoulder width apart, stretching forwards. And back. Get those quads. Switch legs. Good. Get the front. So you're gonna come here, getting the hips here, squatting down if you can. And switch sides. Good. And last one, center splits. Try to keep the hands underneath the body to start. Come forwards, stretch the front of the hips. Come back, hands behind. Back to center, up on the heels. And feet back together, squatting down, and up, and down, and up. Okay. And feet together, and you bow. I'll be online for a few more minutes after class. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions, let me know. Make sure to join in for Sensei Adam's class at 5. It should be kumite techniques, I believe, or kumite combinations. Should be a pretty good class. Like I said, I'll be online for a few more minutes if you've got questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you, Sensei.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Oh, thank you.
Sensei.
Good. And Becky, any questions? You guys good? Good. And any questions? Nope. Oh, you're muted. I got you muted. You're muted, Ann. You're muted.
I still have questions about that back foot position, but I think it's going to be a personal back in the dojo, sorting it out.
Yeah, it's hard here because I can't move your feet and your hips, and it's hard to show you here kind of what it looks like because it's video. What I would say until we can get back in the dojo, just work on the hip flexibility. So the big thing is this stretch. Really work on that front foot or that back foot pointed straight in front with the hips forwards to stretch this hip. This will help. If you need to go shorter just so you can get that hip stretch here. And then one before we can get back in the dojo is just work on that ankle flexibility. So you're here, right? Flexing this ankle. This will help a lot. When we get back, I'll see. We'll get together and I'll try and help you with that. Maybe we can get you in the right alignment.
Thank you, Sensei.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Os.
Os.